So I was looking at, I listen to podcasts while I do everything, bro. So I fuck with Andrew Schultz on certain shit, but I, for some reason, ran across this Andrew Schultz and Yachty interview. Yachty got on there and said that Drake was his GOAT. He felt like he won the whole nine. He felt like Kendrick wasn't on his level. But I seemingly remember a clip with him and the Migos from a couple of years ago when the nigga had red hair saying that Kendrick Lamar was the GOAT. You take a couple pictures with Drake and do a song with Drake, now everything switches? I'm tired of this shit, bro. Because the problem is you keep like, and I have nothing in, yes I do, I ain't gonna sit here and bullshit with y'all. I don't really care for Yachty. When he first came out, everybody kept saying this nigga was da-da-da-da, and I kept saying his audience ain't us. His audience is not hip hop. When you go to his concerts, I've been to a Yachty concert. All I seen was white folks to that motherfucker. And there's nothing wrong with white folks liking Yachty. Like, I love white folks. I sound like one of them niggas. But he's not for us. He uses us to get what he needs. Why in the fuck are we talking to Yachty about hip hop?
I'm glad you brought that up because remember that Tyler, the Creator interview we did a few years back, talking about the people's perception of what's the greatest album of all time or who's the greatest artist. It's all about what they listen to,
right?
What the public listens to. So
right.
He going to Yachty's case. He said that he just listened to Reasonable Doubt and Black Album just a few days ago. But
okay. Why do we keep allowing motherfuckers who have no knowledge of our culture infiltrate our culture? I don't give a fuck if you black, white, Mexican, Chinese, because there's a lot of white folks that know more about hip hop than black folks. And just because you black don't mean you had a right to say what is hip hop and what's not hip hop, or what's good and what's not good, because that's not what you like. How in the fuck can you say you a part of hip hop and you ain't never listened to Reasonable Doubt or the Black Album?
That's crazy. That's insane. That's actually crazy.
I don't give a fuck how old you are. That's crazy.
Like, what are we talking? That's like saying, nigga, I was raised in a black family, in a black household, and I ain't never listened to Anita Baker.
Ooh, that's a sin right there.
Know your shit before you enter some shit. Don't just be doing shit just be doing it. Nigga, you from Atlanta. You may not be from Atlanta, but you from Georgia. My nigga. Outkast. Like, you're in a city or a state that has birthed some of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. Like, I'm sitting here listening, I'm listening to even Quavo in the interview saying, man, nigga, Hove.
Yeah.
That nigga Hove. Yeah. I went back and studied. This is my shit. Why are you not studying your shit? We gotta stop letting people come into our culture and just because you black. Just because you know how to market. Stay over there with them niggas. Y'all don't play that shit with them white folks. Why y'all gotta come over in hip hop and just fuck shit up? And that's why rock and roll turns to rock and roll. You don't hear them country people look at Shania Twain and say, oh, this motherfucker old. We ain't listening to her. No, nigga, they respect their people. Why we can't respect our own people? And I ain't gonna, man, I said this a long time ago and I shit it. Fuck it. At this point, it is what it is. I didn't understand why Drake went and did a fucking album with Yachty. I understand what you're trying to do, but you're doing it the wrong way. If you care about the culture, you got a lot of young niggas that's within the hip hop culture that care about the culture. Why not work with them? Cole does it. Kendrick does it. He's literally, Yachty literally said, like, I'm sitting here, this nigga talking about Atlanta started I think he said something about he started.
Yeah, they had better fashion trend in New York.
You're crazy as shit, nigga.
That was bad.
Come on, dog. That's
Dapper Dan, what are we talking about? Y'all don't, Atlanta ain't got no Dapper Dan. And a lot of they swag they get from New York and New Orleans, but that's a whole nother conversation in itself. Jabot jeans that came from New Orleans. A lot of niggas in Atlanta was wearing Jabot jeans.
yo.
Don't get me wrong, Atlanta starts a lot of trends. They lead the culture right now. I'm not gonna take that away from them at all. But when we talk about who started this fashion shit, man, come on, bro. Speak on what you know. Stop sitting here talking about know your history, bro. Stop trying to rewrite history. Stop trying to clickbait. We gotta stop this shit. When it comes to our culture, we gotta protect our culture. We keep letting these motherfuckers in and they take and abuse. And it be our own people. Why didn't Drake do an album with Smino instead of Yachty?
Because to him, Yachty appeals to the younger generation.
But
he's trying to reach that faster.
Is the benefit you or is it the culture? To be honest with you, that's what this whole battle was about, bro. Y'all niggas keep sitting, academics, all these people keep saying all of these things about Kendrick and Bloods and all. No, this was for the culture. It's getting irritating. It's getting ridiculous at this point. It's like every time you look on Twitter or Instagram or something like that, every time you look on Instagram or Twitter and any of these social platforms, it feels like they're trying to shape a narrative to erase what hip hop history is. And that's not right. That ain't fair because you got a lot of people that live by this. Just because you don't live by it don't mean that you can abuse it. Who made you the spokesperson for hip hop to say
Right.
the Black Album's production wasn't good?
Did he say something like the live production wasn't good for Black Album?
What are you talking about?
Wasn't even any
Then
production.
don't talk about it. If hip hop don't concern you, because I also heard him and Andrew Schultz say, you know, hip hop fans cared about the beef, but people outside of hip hop don't really care. He didn't care. Then why are you in hip hop? I don't never see motherfuckers going over to Maroon 5 and fucking with them.
Really, hip hop is the most lucrative genre.
It is, but they abused it. They are abusing it.
You gotta take.
And it's going and the reason why it's so important that somebody like get this shit right is because if niggas don't take care of it, we gonna lose it. We already lost it. Half the motherfuckers that own these labels don't come from us. That's why you got what's happening right now. You got the narrative that they're trying to portray. And y'all not waking up to understand, like, what was hip hop started from? Or do you even give a fuck? And if you don't give a fuck, why are you here?